Adam Walter here with Virtual C, and today we're going to talk about how this report can help your business succeed. What you're going to see here is how this is it's just a template. So we want you to customize it a little bit and add your own flair to it. Well, I'm going to walk you through the process of opening the report and editing it in a way that will show your client what your true power is as a valued partner. And I have spent probably 400 hours just honing this report just to get it to where it is today. It looks simple, but that's by on purpose, because I originally had my original report was like 30 to 40 pages, and I simplified it to the point where it was really easy delivery for my clients. They didn't like the large, thick reports I was giving them as a printout. They liked the smaller reports that were easy to dive into, and then we could reference them every quarter. So let's dive into how this report can be useful to you and how you can edit it to empower your program. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your Managed Services Platform tool and go to your setup and head over to your reports. Now, I've got a lot of reports that are coming down the pipeline, but what you're going to look for is you're going to look for the IT Strategy Development Report that is part of your VEP subscription. And when you open this up, what you're going to see here is you're going to see an already filled out template. Now I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell all my coaching clients, and that's this: I want you to come up with your own graphics for this. I want you to reach out to Fiverr or your marketing department or whatever you have and put your own flair on this. Create your own logo, your own script, and everything you need for here. But what you're going to use this for is to show your clients what the annual cadence looks like. So you see here we have the annual agenda, and this is your annual SWOT exercise, which is just a project discovery session, your infrastructure stack audit, your industry analysis where you're getting to know your customer better. Then you're going to deliver a report in week 3. And week 4, if you do budgetary analysis for them, you're going to deliver them a budget forecast for the next year. Here I have the agenda for the meeting. This is what I use at Virtual C. You may have something completely different. So what we want to do is we want to have something that will show your agenda so you can pull this up. Remember, this is just a template. So if you're not in your annual cycle, you'll want to minimize this and go to your quarterly. You'll want another illustration here, or you can just use mine. Or you may not use anything. And if you don't, minimize that. Again, here's the monthly cycle at what you're doing every week. If you're not using this, just minimize it. Your client will never see it. Then you're going to have your overview, the scoring on your report. And then finally, you're going to have the content, everything you put together from your meetings with your industry analysis. I've got a nice little template here if you want to use that. I've got the technical analysis for if you want to copy and paste in what your technology roadmap looks like, or you want to link to a report that you have generated elsewhere. If you're using our technology stack audit, here's a great place to link to it and create a snapshot of where they are in your stack. You also see here we have scoped out what you need to have for your target projects. So every quarter, you're going to list out what you're going to do in that quarter, and then the business needs, the target dates, and everything. These particular fields that I have here, these bulleted items, are a lot of work that we happen to hone down. Now, this is not anything new, this is not anything earth-shattering, but we notice that people skip these a lot. In the next version of the report, which should be coming out in October or November, you should see a bunch of sliders. You'll see more dynamic areas surrounding this. But what I do with this particular area is I present it to my client in the annual report session, and then I translate it into my project management software. For Virtual C, that means that we use Trello. For you, it may be some other form of ConnectWise or Microsoft Project or Teams or something. The important part is that you translate these into a nice little roadmap and you show your customer the business need. Finally, you're going to have a budget review if you do that with your client. If you don't, just minimize it. For more information on the budget review, check your courses. You'll see a course on how to do a budget review, and there'll be a nice Excel template, which we just released version 2.0 of, that you can use to deliver a dynamic experience to your clients. Finally, you're going to have this section here, and this is what you're going to want to spend most of the time on as a template. Now, if you use the coaching sessions, we will develop this for you and we'll discover what fits best and help you line up your services. So by default, you have your annual strategy, your budget planning, your project management, and your technology stack audit. What you're going to want to add in here is another category called add-on packages. And usually you want to title it like your company. And that's going to show you what you need to highlight that is specific to your MSP. I wish I could create a template that included everything from all your companies, but you all have different services and you have unique features to your company. Some of you like to focus on security packages. Some of you like to focus on dynamic technology experiences. And that's completely up to you. Once you have created your new section, you're going to want to create a series of questions under here and categories. So if you had a risk management category, you'll now create a nice little set of questions. And these need to be high level. The low level stuff will be handled by that department or by that process. So in this situation, have we done a risk audit? Maybe an interesting question to have. It's not part of your VCIO core services. This is something additional you do. The core services are the things listed in your illustration at the top and the things that you're going to do on every client every year, no matter what. And so when you have something like a risk audit, you're going to come over here and you're going to talk about your notes internally and whether that's a service or is it a one-time project, discovery session. So, and then you'll come over here and because mine's a vendor account, you won't see the list, but because you're a VEP member, you're going to see 100 or 200 services over here. And what you'll want to do is select the service that is a result of the risk audit. So in this situation, you may want to select something like a security audit that you'll do. And if the client wants to do that, they select yes, or you select yes in your meeting, and then away they go. And then that will tell your internal teams to do a security audit with these people, or a risk audit with these people. Once that's done, once you have customized this is going to take you quite a bit of time. I usually tell people set aside about 40 hours to get this done. That's a full week if you really just focus on it, or just several sessions, because you need to discover what your core services are going to be at a high level and then what you're going to deliver. And then every year you'll edit this and you'll deliver it. So if there's a new thing you want to focus on, like we want to make sure that everybody switches over to the new network architecture, that becomes a high level item. If you want everybody to undergo a policy audit, because now you want to get into security policies or HR policies, onboarding, offboarding, things like that, put it in here because that's going to keep everybody on the same page together. And then you're going to be able to show them at the end what the report looks like, the services they're going to deliver. For instance, if I go over to my clients, you'll see a bunch of test clients here. We're going to go to Apple Accounting and see a ton of like reports that we've done as we've tried to build out new things for templates and audits and stuff like that. What I have here is I have my 2020 audit. Oop, I think I scrolled right by it. So my 2020 audit for Apple Accounting. This is the same report you just looked at, the same template. The difference is now that we've assigned it to a client, it's completely filled out. I've got my annual agenda and I can hide this. Remember, whatever you hide, your client will not see. So if you go up here and you go to share it with your client, they will not see anything that you have hidden. And you can see here that we have this client has been measured, and this is what happens when is the result of the questionnaire, which is why it's important to have your core services in that questionnaire, because it's going to show them a maturity throughout the year. And then you're going to have your content, and then you're going to come down to your project listing that is going to remind them where they are and what they agreed to do. And then you're going to see this nice little bar graphs for each section. So work budget management looks like they want an IT budget. They do track their spending and they do use their budget to drive business decisions, but no one's really tracking the IT side of things. And so we're going to go ahead and do that for them. Workflow managed the same way. Again, this is a vendor account, so it's a little bit wonky when it comes to what you see, but on your account, what you're going to see is this nice list of services over to the right side here, and you're going to see them all listed out. I cheat a little bit in my QBRs in that I use my annual report to deliver the QBRs. And when I do that, I have a measurement tool where I check how far we are done with our QBRs, with our quarter. And so every month I can show them what their maturity is. So they'll always start off down here at like 15% or 30%, but then as the year goes along and I create snapshots throughout the year, they're going to grow and mature as they complete through their quarters. Sometimes they're not going to get 100% done on their quarter because they needed a firewall or something was back ordered or a project got delayed. That's okay. That's normal state of IT affairs. You can see over here, my little example here, we did not get to 100% because the firewall was on back order, but we will get it done. We will push forward because it'll get done next quarter. And we go down, we see it's getting a little less because we haven't finished this yet. If I want to get it farther, I can go ahead and check. Now they're 100% done. I mean, realistically, you'd want to go from the bottom up, but you get the idea. You're smart people. So at the bottom here, I usually have a little section for action items. If there's anything weird that's going on that we need to remember for the next year, or if I need to take notes throughout the year, this is where I'm going to put them to remind myself to update my project or to move over to somewhere else. But when they select that they want something in your questionnaire area, you're going to see that service pop up. IT strategy development, what are they getting? IT workflow, what are they getting? What's the deliverable? I'm going to deliver a Kanban to them. My Office 365 audit, here's what they get. Here's a nice little Microsoft video explaining that stuff. And so if you have a security audit and they select that service, then that's going to show up down here as well. So when you print this report or share this report with your client, they're going to see a full listing of what you can do for them. So as you can see, like the service templates within this, or the report template, is where we really focus on delivering a product that's going to save you a ton of time. And you're going to see updates come from Virtual C, where as new widgets and as new capabilities get added to the portal, we'll add them to the report and we'll send out a weekly VEP update saying, hey, there's a new report available. Just last week, we released a new budget report. And so people are now consuming that and adding it to their tool set. They didn't have to do anything to build it. It's just ready. Same thing with this report. As the portal matures, as we get better feedback from the community wanting new sections or different tools available within the report, we will add that and make it available to you so you don't have to spend your hours that you could be building a client on building these reports from scratch. That said, this is a very useful report. We've used it with lots of clients. I've got a ton of coaching clients that use these and are very excited about them. I've got people generating $25,000, $30,000 audits, and I've got people generating $5,000 more MRR just by using this report. It looks simple. It looks like something you could create in like a couple hours. I promise you, it's much more complicated than that, especially when you deep dive into how everything plays together. The only thing I want to show you is that when you're building your report, that you really need to focus on your service delivery. And let me show you how that looks really quick. So when you come over to the setup section, you're going to want to go to your service catalog. And when you have something like a, let's see here, let's go for a, we'll say a spam filtering solution. What I recommend you do here is that if they select, hey, have you had your spam filtering reviewed to make sure that it's adequate and up to our specs, and the client checks yes for their annual report, you're going to want to come over here and make sure before you release your report that you copy this and create a new one called your company name standard spam filtering solution. You go in here and you'll edit this and make sure that your deliverables are in here and that it is looking the way that your company wants it to look. So that at the end of the report, it's a nice brand for what you're going to be doing with your client. But these are all built in. Now there's not as many in my account here because this is the vendor portal, and again, it's a little odd. But what you're going to get is a very rich experience where you can select the service that best matches what you want to do and just add it to your question. So as you edit the report, as you upgrade the report, you're going to have this really quick drag and drop thing to make things a lot better for your clients. If you have any questions, just join us at our VEP sessions that are every week. We do these so that the community can provide feedback and we can talk about how to better deliver things and to move forward with your clients in a very productive fashion. I hope to see you at the community updates. I hope to see you online. Send me emails and allow me to figure out how to help you best to succeed with your clients. Thank you.